breaking up his slide. Oh, they are. Look, what good timing. How good are you?
Somebody's on my side.
That's great.
She's got them all totally scared. So Meg's got an Irish story for you?
Yes, can I sing a wee song to start with?
I can sing a wee song to start with.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I am 47% Irish, you know.
No, I didn't know that.
No, I found it out. Shocking, eh?
And what song are you going to sing this song?
Oh, well, you'll know it.
Irish song?
Yes.
Meg Phil, thank you.
I've been haunted by this song, so I've just got to get it out of my system, so forgive me. I've been watching a bit of Karine Polwart, a Scottish singer, and she sings this one. Dear thoughts are in my mind, I think I'm a bit low, and my soul it soars enchanted as I hear the sweet lark sing in the clear air of the day. For a tender beaming smile to my hope has been granted, and tomorrow he will hear all my fond heart has to say. I will tell him of my love and my soul's pure adoration, and I know he will hear my voice, and he will not answer me nay. It is this that gives my soul all its joyous elation, as I hear the sweet lark sing in the clear air of the day. An old story. The first story I ever told at Red Hill, actually. Cormac MacArt, son of Connor. Oh, sorry, I'll start again. Cormac MacArt, son of Con, son of Corner of the Thousand Battles, was High King at Tara. In the 2nd or 4th centuries, I'm not sure, the legend started there. He was 30, he had a wife and the beginnings of a family, and he would look out from the hill at Tara at all the green, green lands before him, and he was well pleased. And one day, as he was standing outside his hall, looking and watching the toing and froing, he saw a young chap come up, and he seemed to be carrying a glittering branch, and on that branch there were 9 red apples. Cormac was taken by this. He called them, he summoned them to him, and the young man came up and he said, "Oh, that branch you have, it is a fairy branch?" "Oh, yes," said the lad. He said, "Whenever I wave it, anyone who is sick or injured or sad, they are immediately healed. Their woes go. They are happy again. They are at ease." "Oh," said Cormac, would you give it to me?" "Well, what would you give me? Would you give me what I asked for it?" And Cormac was so keen to have this branch, he said, "Oh yes, whatever you asked for." So the lad there and then asked for his wife, his son, and his daughter. People who heard this, who'd gathered to see this fairy branch, they couldn't believe it. But Cormac had given his word. He was High King of Ireland. And so he took the branch, and his wife and son and daughter were summoned, and when they learned what was to happen, they started to cry, the 3 of them. And other courtiers standing around, they wept as well. But now Cormac had the branch of healing. He waved it over them, and soon their tears dried. And even his family turned and smiled to their father, and they walked off, followed the young man down away from the hill of Tara. And whenever there was any trouble with that gilded branch, he was able to calm anything that went wrong in the court of Tara. People flourished, except for the king. It was a year after that had happened, and he came forward to his men and he said, "It's a year to the day since I lost family. I have decided I shall go look for them." Oh, many volunteered to go with him, but he said, "No, I go alone. I walk, I shall find them." There was protest, and he pointed out some man who would be in charge while he was away and said, "No, do as I ask. I'm king. I will not be long gone." And he set off. Everybody gathered outside the gates of the court and looked down as he walked down the green sward, that green of Ireland that you see no other place in the world. And down he went and along a ridge, and as he walked, a strange mist came down and surrounded him. He could see one foot after the other, but that was all. And he walked and walked, and as he walked, he thought of his family. And when the mist cleared, he was on a great plain. A place he'd never seen before. Oh, there was so much going on. There were horsemen over there. They were galloping to and fro, and there was a house with a roof that needed mending, and they seemed to be... No. Feathers? They were trying to thatch this roof with feathers. Half one side was still bare, and here were the horsemen with these beautiful plumes, red, orange, from strange birds, and they put them on and wove them into the... And as soon as they'd done one side, they would gallop off to get more feathers. But when they came back, the feathers had blown away. Cormac watched this. He probably sat on a stone and watched it all. "This is strange," he said. "I don't know what this is about." But there was no one there to answer him, so he walked on. As he walked on, there was a young man dragging a great tree. He seemed to have superhuman strength, and throwing it onto a pyre. The tree would burn, and he'd go off to get another tree to keep it going, but by the time he came back, Cormac saw that it was out. He'd had to start again. That's strange. What's this tree burning and disappearing and then never being able to be quenched, this fire? But the man didn't seem to hear him. He walked on across the plain, and when he came to the edge of it, oh, there's something strange. There was a great well with a basin in front, and 3 carved heads spewed forth water. Some streams were coming down from the mountain behind, and one stream was going into the first head, and it was letting out 2 streams in front. The next head had one stream coming in and one stream going out, and the third head had 3 streams going out. From where? "What's the story here?" said Cormac. "What is this place? What is this about?" But there was no one, so he kept on walking. And in the story they say he came to a house in a square field, beautifully thatched, strong house. And as you do in Ireland, you go up to the door and say, "Hello, anybody there?" Nobody answers, so you step in. And he walks in, and 2 tall people came towards him, a man and his wife, and they were wearing the strangest garb. Many colours, slashes of purple and red and green and yellow covered their garments. And the 2 of them looked at Cormac and said, "Welcome, come in, come and join us at the fire." And he went inside the cottage. He was quite cold and sat down. And as he sat, the wife turned to her husband and said, because they were married, husband, we need to get some food here. Go and get organised, get some food. And he got up without a word, went outside, and Cormac watched, and he came back again, and there he was carrying a whole dead pig, which he threw on the hearth. There, he says, cook it yourselves. Cormac looked. He never cooked anything in his life. Oh, how are we to do that? Oh, look, it said the man. Here's 2 logs. You'll need those. But why? Look, what you need to do is get the axe, split those 2 logs so you've got 4, and split that beast up into 4 parts, and you'll be able to, if you tell a story true, cook a piece, 1 piece at a time. Oh, tell a story, said Cormac. I can't tell a story. Well, how about you go first? So the man said, oh, well, I shall. My story is that I have 7 pigs, just like this one lying here, and they are not a trouble. They never finish, because as soon as we've eaten the pork off the bones, I take the bones back and I put them in the sty, and the next morning there's a new pig. Well, Cormac was impressed with that. Wouldn't that help at home? Oh, thank you, said Cormac, and he looked at the wife. And your story? Oh, he said, I've got 7 fine white milk cows, and every day they fill a giant cauldron with milk. There is so much milk that if all the people in the world came to the plain outside our house, they would all have enough milk to drink. That's a wonder, said Cormac. All right, said the 2 of them. We've told our stories. What's yours? Oh, well, Cormac could only tell the truth. He told them how he was searching for his family, how they'd been taken away a year ago to the day, and he was out searching for them. He missed them so, and it was then that the husband got up and opened up his arms, and the garment fell off him, and there he was, Manannan McClure, son of the seas, the great god of fairyland. He said, well, if that's your story, you must be Cormac MacArt, son of Con, son of Connor of the 100 Battles. I am, said Cormac. I am. That is truly who I am. And you? Manannan said, ah, I am the one who got you here. I came to Tara as a young man. I have these talents. I carried the glittering branch that you envied so, and I did all of this to get you here. What? That's unbelievable, said Cormac. Well, look, said the wife, the food's ready. Shall we eat? And Cormac said, well, to be honest, I don't often just eat with 2 people. I usually have a lot of people around me, all my people in the great hall. Said Manannan, would you eat if there were 3 more people here? Oh, Cormac thought to himself. Yes, I would, he said, if those 3 people were dear to me. Ha, said Manannan. He went and opened the door, and in walked his wife, Inya, and the 2 children. And they hugged and were just so delighted to see each other, and sat down together and were excited and happy and laughing. And they were going to start eating, but Cormac said, wait. On my travels, on my search for my family to find them again, I saw such strange things. Can you tell me what the meaning are? You seem to be some powerful being. Well, let me see, said Manannan. Well, those horsemen riding backwards and forwards, trying to roof a thatch, a cottage with feathers, are just like people in the world who are after fame and fortune. They spend so much time dashing backwards and forwards, trying to make money or be famous, that when they get home it's pretty bare, so they don't stay, and they go off again to be famous or rich. Ah, said Cormac, I see what you mean. And what about the young lad that was having terrible trouble trying to get a tree to catch fire and make a big fire? Oh, he said, he symbolizes, you know, people who have to work for others. They have to do all the hard work. They don't get much time to themselves. They never get time to enjoy the fire that they've lit. Ah. And the well with the 3 heads? Well, there's, if you remember, there was 1 head there. They're just the 3 types of people. There are some people who give freely when they get freely. And there are others who give freely when they actually get little themselves. And then there's some who get much and give very little. And they're the worst of all, said Manannan. They are, said Cormac, and you have given me so much. Thank you for giving me back my family. I couldn't last longer without them. Well, let's eat. But before we do, there are things I have to show you. And he took him up to the table. Manannan cast a great gold cloth over the table. Now you can see the patterns glittering on this cloth. And Manannan said, this cloth is a magic cloth. Sit at this table and ask for any food or drink that you would like. Imagine that. And it will be there for you. Oh, the children were so excited. They gathered round the table. Wait. Manannan then went into his pocket and drew out, as you can do when you're a magic person, a goblet and said, this goblet can be for drinking, but it's a special goblet that when anything untrue is told or a lie is told, it will break into 4 pieces. But when a true story is told, the 4 pieces will join together again. Right, said Cormac. And the third thing, I've forgotten what it is. Well, that was a virtue cup. The third thing was something else. I'm sorry. So, they sat at the table, the fairy branch, I think. And they sat at the table and ate and had a great meal. And when they were finished, Manannan said, these 3 things you may take back with you to Tara. Why, thank you again, said Cormac. But we can't go now, we're really tired. Never mind, said Manannan, there's couches prepared for you. Off you go, lie down, go to sleep. It's been a big, long day. And when they woke up the next morning, that family was back in Tara, back in the hall, back in their home. And with them they had the cup of virtue, the cloth of plenty, and the branch, the healing branch. And that was how they say Cormac MacArt was the greatest, most absolutely, according to the annals of Clonmacnoise, absolutely the best king that ever reigned in Ireland before himself. I like that. Wise, learned, valiant, mild, not given to causing bloody fights, as many of his other ancestors had done. He, in fact, reigned majestically and magnificently, and so may you all.